Hey, I'm Izzy, and you're listening to Real Quick. Check out the rest of the episodes and other amazing content at intheworks.com. Welcome to Real Quick. I am super excited for my guest today. My guest today is Dave Bolotsky. Dave, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Izzy. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you.
I'm super excited. If people haven't yet checked out the feature article about you in this issue of In the Works, do you want to give them some insight as to who you are and what you do?
I would say first and foremost, I'm a father and a husband. I got a wife and two sons, and an entrepreneur. I'm the founder and CEO of an online retailer called Uncommon Goods. Started the company back in 1999. We've been mission driven since the beginning of with a focus on both doing well and doing good while we achieve our financial goals. So we've always had a triple bottom line. Haven't necessarily used that terminology, but very focused on our impact on people and the planet as well as profit. The business is a retailer of creative design. We sell from a lot of independent makers. Often we're their biggest retailer out there, and we connect those makers with shoppers who want to express their individuality, don't want to buy mass produced widgets at the mall.
In doing my research, I realized that there was a common theme to your journey, and that was consistency. So, when we talk about the word consistency, what has consistency done for you as a founder and an entrepreneur?
I feel like it's directly tied to never saying die, having that resilience, having that grit, never quit. And for me, it's allowed me to stay true to the company's mission. I think it's allowed us to attract like minded team members and vendors who want to work with us. I think having that consistency gives you credibility with your partners, and it also helps give you focus. It's very easy as a entrepreneur who likes shiny new things to get distracted, and that consistency, particularly with a set of goals, helps you maintain that focus, which is critical for success.
What would you tell a new founder if they were asking about advice as to staying consistent?
So you have to, number one, know what your North Star is.
Mm.
What is your purpose? What's your mission? And really dig on that and understand it, because that to me has helped keep me consistent. Is I know what's important to me, and you want to be in touch with your values and do something that you really believe in. Having said that, you don't want to ride something into the ground. So you also have to look around and say, hey, if I was attempting to do A and the market's no longer there for A, you may have to pivot, you may have to adapt. You want to be consistent up to a point. If the world is telling you, then maybe you have to adapt. But in general, you need to believe that you know the answer being your success. And you have to have that kind of drive that you just have to succeed and stay focused.
So, Dave, for you, consistency runs true not only being a founder, but in your personal life as well. You've been a vegetarian since you were 11 years old, and you've also lived in the same apartment throughout your entire entrepreneurial journey. So, do you want to talk about those two topics and maybe talk about how you stay consistent in your personal life as well?
Yeah, I would say I have certain core values that, I didn't write in a mission statement. That came from having parents who walk the talk. They are still alive, and they're people who have lived their values and raised my sister and me in such a way that there are things more important than money. Blaze your own trail. Don't listen to the crowd. Somebody once said to me, listen to the fans, end up in the stands. You've got to really be yourself. And I'm a big believer in trying to do good in the world and be independent. And one way to do that is by being frugal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was able to rent an apartment that had belonged to my grandparents on the Lower East Side in New York in the mid 1980s, and it was a great value. And I've lived here for 36 years, and it allowed me to save money. I haven't bought a second home, don't have a fancy car. I have a modest lifestyle, and that's something that had enabled me to start the business at the age of 36 and not take a salary for 6 years and be able to loan the business money because I sort of lived like a college student while having a fair amount of savings. And that's just, to me, material possessions, being flashy, whatever, is not a priority.
Real quick, what's your go-to book for motivation?
So I have to say The Little Engine That Could.
Ooh.
If I want to be a little more sophisticated and, the business books, I would say there's a book called Nuts about the founding of Southwest Airlines. And then there's also a book called Endurance about Ernest Shackleton.
Real quick, who is someone that needs to be on the show?
J. Cone Gilbert, the founder of B Corp movement and B Lab, and also of And One, the shoe company.
Real quick, how can someone tune into your work?
So I'm not much for social media, but I am on LinkedIn and post updates there periodically, and maybe someday I'll become more of a social media maven.
Thanks for listening to Real Quick. In this issue, we talk with 4 different founders on the 4 elements of authenticity. Check out all the rest of the episodes and other amazing content at intheworks.com.